The Attleboro Public Library has taken the month of November to remember a much-loved U.S. president. For the last several weeks, the library has had an exhibit on President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. The exhibit focused on both the highlights of the president's short term in office and the events that took place on the tragic day he was killed. DoubleACS spoke with Reader Services Coordinator Christine LeFort about the exhibit.
I'm Christine LeFort. I'm the Reader Services Coordinator here at the Attleboro Public Library. And this month, the month of November, we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. As the older generations know, it was really a day of heartbreak. And for the younger generation, hopefully this small photo display will help families be able to discuss some of the things that happened on that day. There are generations of families now that were not alive during that time, and John F. Kennedy is just a president in a book that you do a report on when it's time to do presidents. However, he was from Massachusetts, which made it even harder and a little bit more difficult to accept when this tragedy occurred. It happened on the 22nd of November. He and his wife, the First Lady, Jacqueline, were visiting in Dallas, Texas. And it was during the motorcade that he was shot by a sniper. And the time that happened, it was pretty much unheard of for anyone to come to the U.S. and do something like that, whether they were a citizen or whether they were someone from outside, to actually come in and do this horrible deed. Nowadays, we see things and hear things in a matter of seconds when things happen around the world, but then it was quite an event. Television was in its infancy. I can remember I was 10 at the time. School was dismissed, and we didn't have counselors or anyone to discuss anything with you. Your teacher just said, "Get your coat, school is dismissed, and the buses are coming," and when all of us children asked why, she said, "The president has been shot." And then it was up to your parents to either discuss or not discuss. We watched it on TV, we were glued to television that entire time. And it really was a very emotional time. I was trying to put this photo exhibit together, and it was very moving for me. As you can see behind me, on the top shelf where we have some of the photos, I deliberately did the top shelf in color and the bottom in black and white. On the bottom of the cabinet, you'll also see the original Life magazine that covered the story. Here at the library, we have these types of things in archives that you can come in and look at. And also, if you would like to come in and use our local history room, we have on microfilm the coverage that the Attleboro Sun did. And by the way, it was called the Attleboro Sun back in those days. So we do have that on microfilm that you can come in and you can look at those headlines and any of the news coverage that happened during that time. I tried to make things a little bit cheerier by just putting in some of the achievements that President Kennedy did during the 1,000 days of his presidency, because he was only president for 1,000 days. And in that time, we had quite a few huge things going on. There was the Cuban Missile Crisis. He also established the Peace Corps. He also established the Green Berets. And he also was the first president to actively begin to send advisors, et cetera, into Vietnam at the beginning of the Vietnam War. So it was a huge time. And hopefully the small photo exhibit will spark some interest. We have downstairs in the first floor lobby biographies, autobiographies, histories about him, his administration, and his family during that time. So come down to the library and see what we have. We want you to know, too, that in December, on December 7th, which is a Saturday, the Friends of the Library will be hosting an international coffee and tea tasting. And it will be here in the Marble Lobby, and it will be from 10 to 12. So come on down and have fun with that. Come on in. We have programs going all the time on the weekends, evenings. Check our event calendar on our homepage at attleboro.library.org, or give us a call. And we're always here. Make sure you come on in. This is your library, and it's more than just books. You'd be surprised, so come on down.